This morning, you probably used an AI chatbot without thinking about it. Maybe you uploaded a PDF, asked it to debug some code, or generated a video of a capybara operating heavy machinery. Normal Monday behavior. A few seconds later, the answer appeared. No setup, no extra software, no second subscription quietly removing $20 from your bank account every month. Convenient for you. Catastrophic for someone else. Every time one of those features works inside ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, a founder somewhere opens a dashboard and realizes his entire company has become a button inside somebody else's product. By early 2026, more than 90% of Series A generative AI startups had failed to raise a Series B. Thousands were liquidated or converted into inspirational LinkedIn posts about resilience. They did not die because AI stopped working. They died because it started doing their job. The major model providers added document analysis, code debugging, research, memory, automation, images, and video directly into platforms people already used. More than 10,000 middleman software companies discovered that their revolutionary platform was 3 API calls wearing a blazer. OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google owned the glowing brain. The crowd chasing it believed speed mattered more than ownership. The cliff is not symbolic, it is the business model. A real technology company forms in a boring way. You find a difficult problem, build a solution, and let customers break it. Engineers fix the failures and accumulate knowledge competitors cannot copy from a tutorial. Eventually, the product becomes difficult to replace. That is a moat, or in normal language, work. The early AI boom reversed that process. Founders built the interface and rented the difficult part from an API provider. A team of 3 people could launch in 2 weeks, but every competitor had the same models and example code. So competition moved into presentation. Cleaner interfaces, louder landing pages, more purple gradients. None of that lowered inference costs or reduced dependence on the company supplying the intelligence. But the charts looked good, so venture capital covered the difference. Free users inflated adoption numbers, attracting more funding. The chart climbed while the business underneath it decomposed. Beautiful chart, dead company. The standard wrapper was simple. A user entered a request, the application added a hidden instruction, called a foundational model, reformatted the response, and displayed it beside an expensive-looking loading animation. Technically, there might also be a database. Very innovative. Then, engineers leaked private GitHub repositories. Companies once valued at $50 million were found to have fewer than 5,000 lines of product code. Often it was a login page, a payment integration, an API key, and a prompt telling an external model to sound professional. Some repositories contained more code for subscription pop-ups than for the supposedly revolutionary feature. Remove the dashboard, and the product became a curl command. Modern engineering, now with gradients. The technology was useful. Small teams could build tools in weeks instead of spending years training models. But access is not ownership. The market assumed foundational models would remain incomplete, leaving profitable feature gaps around them. Then the providers filled those gaps. Native document analysis replaced PDF tools. Built-in coding agents replaced debugging subscriptions. Integrated video generation removed another category. The providers already had the research teams, data centers, users, and billing systems. The wrappers had landing pages. The startups did not receive warnings, they received release notes. The platforms only needed to absorb the task customers were paying for. Once that task became native, the remaining interface was decoration. Imagine opening a restaurant inside somebody else's kitchen. You own the menu, but not the ovens, ingredients, delivery network, or customers. Then the kitchen owner adds your best dish to the standard meal plan. Congratulations, you now operate a decorative PDF. The obvious villain seems to be the platform, but the fatal decision happened earlier, inside the startups. Training specialized models was expensive. Proprietary datasets took time. Bare metal infrastructure created maintenance work. Deep integration required understanding the customer's operation. None of that produced a cinematic launch video, so many companies avoided it. They optimized for fundraising speed instead of technical ownership. It worked until it didn't. When funding stopped, founders blamed market conditions. Investors blamed weak demand. The numbers were less philosophical. An average wrapper spent roughly $5 on API calls and cloud compute for every dollar it generated in revenue. The company received $1, then spent $5 delivering the service. What happens when investors stop supplying the missing $4? Exactly. AI products inherited a brutal cost structure. Every interaction triggered inference. Larger contexts consumed more tokens. Images cost more than text. Video cost more than images. Agents could call a model repeatedly before producing one response. The product did not merely run, it consumed money every time it thought. Take one subscriber paying $20 a month. He uploads a 100-page contract and asks a 5-word question. What are the major risks? 5 words. Cheap, right? No. The wrapper sends most of the document into the context window. Every page becomes tokens. An agent searches clauses, compares contradictions, and generates the answer. Each stage may require another model call. If the answer is weak, the system retries. More tokens, more money. By lunchtime, that subscriber has analyzed 6 contracts. He paid $20 for the month. The startup spent $45 on his API usage that afternoon. That excludes storage, authentication, monitoring, support, and payment processing. Power users were denial of service attacks with profile pictures. Now compare 2 companies. DocuBrain raised $15 million for document analysis and spent heavily on advertising and free usage credits. It reached 100,000 users and a valuation of $100 million. Its proprietary engine extracted text from PDFs, inserted it into prompts, and sent everything to an external model. There was no proprietary model, specialized infrastructure, or control over inference costs. The only asset DocuBrain fully owned was the logo. Then Google and Anthropic added native document reading. Upload the document, ask the question, no additional subscription. DocuBrain's central feature became a standard menu option before lunch. Removing it required deleting a bookmark. The $100 million moat had the structural integrity of a browser tab. SecureMed Vectors took the opposite path. It raised $4 million and bought bare metal servers, redundant storage, networking equipment, and backups. Less money, fewer launch parties, more servers. SecureMed built a custom vector database inside hospitals. Patient records stayed inside the hospital. The system enforced access rules, logged queries, preserved audit trails, and integrated with compliance systems. HIPAA requirements shaped the architecture from the beginning. Could a general model eventually perform similar analysis? Of course. But replacing SecureMed required migrating sensitive data, rebuilding audit controls, validating permissions, retraining employees, repeating security reviews, and proving the replacement remained compliant. Removing DocuBrain meant deleting an app. Removing SecureMed could interrupt a hospital's compliance pipeline. One company existed above another company's API. The other had grown into the customer's operation. One is a skin, the other is scar tissue. And now the deeper problem becomes visible. The crash was not only caused by careless founders or aggressive investors. Customers, developers, and the market rewarded the same illusion. We treated speed as proof of innovation, confused polished interfaces with difficult engineering, and treated access to a powerful model as ownership of the technology underneath it. The companies looked solid because the difficult layer was hidden somewhere else. The crash did not destroy engineering, it exposed where engineering had never existed. AI platforms will keep absorbing general capabilities. Summarization, research, debugging, design, video, and automation will become features inside larger subscriptions. So the useful question is no longer whether a model can perform your feature. Eventually, it probably can. The useful question is what remains valuable after it performs that feature for free. Maybe the answer is proprietary data, infrastructure, lower costs, regulatory trust, or an integration so deep that replacing the system requires 6 committees and a ceremonial sacrifice. But there has to be an answer. A purple dashboard is not an answer. The next successful AI companies will own more infrastructure, collect specialized data, and integrate with real operations. There will be fewer cinematic launch videos. Good. Real engineering often looks boring right before it becomes indispensable. Those founders did not lose because they moved too slowly. They lost because they moved quickly in a direction where they owned nothing. Subscribe if you want more autopsies of technologies that were declared revolutionary 6 months before becoming a free menu option. I will be here, watching the next stampede. Safely behind a firewall. Probably underfunded. And now my chimaroo is cold.